This episode is brought to you by High Point Market. Welcome to the Design Dash podcast, your guide to designing a life you love. Join us as we explore the keys to living the life you want without compromise.
Welcome to the Design Dash podcast. Today you have me, Laura, and Melissa, my co-host.
Hi,
and
everybody.
we are talking about the 5 things that every interior design firm owner absolutely must do in December if you want to close out this year clean and walk into next year with momentum. So at our design firm, Laura U Design Collective, December is not a throwaway month. It's not holiday limbo yet. Like, we try to keep everybody's head in it because we feel like it's prime time. It's the moment to cut the noise, tighten your systems, and make sure you're not dragging this year's chaotic mess, if that's what's happened in your firm. We don't want to drag that chaos into next year's calendar. So if you're running a small design firm, you're going to start January being proactive, not reactive. So today, Melissa and I are going to talk about our top things that we like to do in December that move us into next year in a really strong way. And we've not discussed these ahead of time. So they could be the same, they could be different. I'm actually not sure. So I'd love to start with you, Melissa. What's one of your top things to do in December?
The thing that I'm doing this week is I'm finalizing next year's budget. So we started working on it in October to just get a feel for how much have we spent this year so far by month. What do we have planned for next year? And that takes some time. I mean, it really does. It's not just like I'm going to figure out exactly how much this is. Boop, copy, paste, done in a day. A lot of things change from October to December, and some projects might get pushed out. So we're taking a look at our projected revenue, margins. We're looking at expenses. We're looking at payroll. We're looking at software. We're looking at travel. And of course, our biggest one is our marketing investment. So all of that we're taking a look at and finalizing this week.
Okay, so you're looking at budget. What does that mean? Like, how are you looking at budget? Like, I know when I'm looking at our budget, it just lives in Excel for me.
Yeah.
Because as a business owner, I want to see what was our budget for this year, and how are we tracking to that month over month and then year to date.
Yeah.
But how are you, as COO of the company, how are you looking at budget? Like,
Yeah.
actually physically, like, what systems?
Yeah, so we use QuickBooks for our accounting software. So I'll take a look at our P&L income statement. They're the same thing. And I'll take a look at that for, from January through to September, if I'm taking a look at it in October. And then I'm just seeing month to month, how much did we spend in these big categories? There are some things like rent, for example, that don't change very much, or utilities, or the software that we use. And then there are some things like marketing where we just have to make an estimate and say, okay, well, this year we really didn't get to photograph that much because everything's in construction. Next year, we're going to photograph 7 times as much as we did this year. So now I get a feel for, okay, what photographers am I going to use? How much do they cost? How much is the stylist going to cost for the day? What kinds of events are we planning? Or taking a look this way, what kinds of events do we do in 2025? What kinds of events do we want to do in 2026? And, I do that for every single line item that's on that P&L and that income statement. Again, 80% of it is going to be darn near the
Consistent.
exact same. Yes.
Yeah.
But a lot of those things that you do, payroll, for example, is a big one because we want to take a look at resources for the next year. We're going to have a much busier next year than we
Knock
did this
on
year.
wood. Yep.
So do we need new team members, or the team members that we have, are they doing really, really well and they need to get bonused or promoted in some other way? And so just, estimating how much do I think that's going to be.
So in December, we're closing out this year's budget. So really, what are you doing? Is there anything special that you have to do this year to close out this budget so that you are clean in 2026?
Well, I mean, there's month-end close that we'll do for December, and then there's year-end close. So all
Okay.
of those tidy little accounting things that we'll need to do to take a look at revenue, take a look at final profit, making sure all of our expenses are in line, making sure all the documentation is there for the CPA. So when we pay taxes next year, all of that stuff. But all of that stuff actually gets taken care of in January.
Okay. So we just want to make sure everything is entered in this year.
Mhm.
Any expenses, purchases, any revenue that all goes in this year, we're going to hand that off to our bookkeeper or the CPA or both.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So if you're a small business owner, put a bow on it, get all your stuff, get all your numbers in, whichever system you're using, even if it's Excel, and get it to your bookkeeper or your CPA.
Yeah, and our bookkeeper and our CPA are working a lot right now because it's year end, as we're trying to determine, who's
They're
gives
talking to
more
each other.
business. Yeah, they're talking to each other like, "What is your profit?" 'Cause that's your money. So we need to
Yeah.
figure out, okay, what is that? What do we want it to be? Is it more or less than what we thought? And then how can we, plan for taxes and all that good stuff.
Okay. So Melissa's number one is budget. Clean
Yeah.
up 2025, prep 2026.
What's yours?
Okay. So mine is actually a cleanup thing too, but it's cleaning up our potential new client pipeline.
Okay.
And so we call potential new clients PNCs. And so we keep a pipeline. We have a system that we use. It's called Monday.com. All of our new clients, potential clients, go into that system. And so some of those potential clients may roll into next year. Like it could be a long lead time project. They're looking to do a renovation. They just haven't found the property yet. It could be they're planning for a project in 2026, middle of the year. So we're talking to them about that already. So those are active. So I want to keep those. But I want to move out like those kind of zombie
Mm,
projects that aren't real. They've kind of just been sitting there. They may just be like, testing the waters, or they've ghosted us and they're just still sitting in our pipeline for no reason. So I'm going to clean up our pipeline. And so this is a really kind of easy one, right? I mean, maybe there's 10 in there and I need to cut out 50% because they're just
yeah.
not viable.
The ones that you clean out, will you ever check back in with them?
It depends. Like if they've just flat out ghosted, probably not,
Yeah.
unless I talk to them a couple times and then I feel like they could come back around. So if there are some that are kind of borderline or a maybe, I'll move them into our long lead time list. So I do have a list of people that are like really long lead time. I guess if like we're getting like if we see the pipeline slowing, business is slowing, it's getting quieter, yes, keep their information because you can circle back. You never
Right.
know. It's a lot of times it's just timing. You're
Yeah.
in front of that potential client at the exact right time. And to do that, it is about like circling back and just being like top of mind, top of mind, top of mind. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I would, unless it was someone that just did not click. And I'm like, that is not a good fit for
Same
us.
here.
Pass. And we've had some of those this year. So, which is fine. They probably found their fit with someone else, and that's okay.
Okay.
But yes, clean up my pipeline. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Good.
So, that's our tops. Okay. What's next for you?
I think it's a good time to review rates. I mean, as I'm taking
Oh,
a look at
yeah.
budgeting, I'm also just taking a look at revenue and how much we brought in. Also taking a look at salaries, right, for the upcoming year. Are those going to increase? We have some A players on this team that
Yeah.
deserve to get promotions. But with that, if they're getting an increase in salary, does that necessarily mean that we need to increase rates? So I would review rates and implement increases if needed. Whenever we have implemented a fee schedule increase, it always happens in January. It's like New year, I think a lot of people expect rates to
Yeah.
increase around that time. That's what's happening with vendors. I just always wanna make sure that that's communicated before we get started with the rest of the year, just get that out of the way. So we take a look at that, just make sure that the pricing really makes sure with salary alignment and then it matches the experience and matches the market.
It's funny, that was not on my list, but yes, that's huge. Yeah, look at your rates for sure because January is expected. We don't raise them every January,
Oh, we don't.
and I don't even know that we're raising them this coming year. We have to
Oh,
take a
heck
look.
yeah.
I don't think so. We raised them last year, but yes, now's a really good time. I agree. How's that not on my list?
Yeah. That's always the
All right.
number one thing,
Okay.
just like, should we? But, I was taking a look at it this year, and as long as, like, I'm making that as long as we're meeting or exceeding that profitability number, there's no need for us to
No,
increase rates.
no, and we're also looking at what the market will bear too, right? Like in our
Exactly.
region,
Yeah.
for our type of client, what are other people, what's industry kind of threshold?
Yeah.
Um, Okay. Yeah, we probably should look at that though. Even though we said we're not raising rates, we should look.
I have.
Uh,
I've got the numbers for you if you're ready to look.
sure. Can we do that tomorrow? We're gonna kick that can. Um, we'll do it before the end of the year though, obviously. Okay, so I think along the same thought though is audit the team.
Mhm.
So you're right, like who's crushing it? Who's doing super well, and they need recognition or they do need a salary increase.
Yeah.
They may need a promotion, like going from a junior designer to an associate designer, for example.
Yeah.
Um, or there may be people on the team that need support or training or to expand their knowledge base. And so I think now is a really good time of the year, even if you have a small team and there's two or three of you, it's a really good time of the year to look at, okay, what was that job description? What are we knocking out of the park? And what needs attention? Because starting January, we can get on a plan to like increase skills or starting
Right.
January or whenever. January is arbitrary. It could be February, it could be March, whatever. Do you need an increase in salary? Or an increase in title, whatever those things are. So December's a good time, I think, to really look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. It really is just like
Um
a big review
Big
and
review.
prepare, clean up month.
Yeah. And you're gonna hate this, but we close the studio for 2 weeks at the end of every year. Everyone takes 2 weeks off because we need it. Like, it's December, it's a race to the finish for whatever projects we're trying to complete and install. The team is tired, we're tired, so we take 2 weeks off. However, as the business owner, during that 2 weeks, it's so quiet, and I can take that time to review, to really dig in and review, like you said, rates, budgets, team, all of those things. Like, so I actually like that. Even if it's like an hour a day or 2 hours a day, it's nice because no one's looking for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's mine. Audit your team. What's next for
Oh,
you?
well, I would definitely, speaking of auditing, I think you should audit next year's project pipeline. This is both an operations, I think, and a marketing one, but I want to review upcoming clients, upcoming phases. When are these furnishings deposits going to come in? When are projects going to get completed? When are the install dates? So that way I can plan my resources for the operations team, but also we can plan for marketing.
Yeah.
When do I need to start scheduling photographers, getting a stylist? That's also something that I need for budgeting to figure out what that needs to be. It helps us determine team workload. But I also like in October to start planning like the next year's content. So it's really helpful for us to determine, okay, this project's going to be done in May. So we're going to start marketing it in June. This project's going to be done in July. Okay, but I'm going to pitch this project majorly. So who do we want to pitch it to? And I think just knowing what we're going to do ahead of time enables us to then still take on spontaneous little things that we
Mm.
want to capture for marketing, as long as we have just a skeleton of a plan for what's going to happen for the next year.
If you're a designer, then you know that High Point is the epicenter for all things interior design. All your favorite furniture vendors are there, your favorite designers, manufacturers, tastemakers, trendsetters. Market happens every April and October, and we hope you'll register and attend. We're there each market, and we're always finding something new. We know you will too. Check out highpointmarket.org for more information.
That's a good point. So from an operations and marketing perspective, auditing those projects, you know what's happening. But
Mhm.
from a design services perspective, so you as the owner or for your team, it's really smart to audit right now too and look into 2026. How far are these projects that you currently have going to carry you into
Yep.
the new year? And so we do that through we have what we call a master project list on the design side. And so we have every project that's active, whether it's just kicking off or it's sunsetting and like closing out. Those are all in our master project list. And we can look out 6 months in advance to see how heavy our
Yep.
workload is for each project. And we look at them side by side. And so we know, like, okay, January is going to be kind of a normal month. We're not going to be overworked. We're not going to be over processed because we know exactly what we're doing for each of these projects. But February, when everybody's back and our clients are ready to get going, builders need everything. February is looking crazy.
Yeah.
And we may be overutilized, just like we're auditing these projects. we know we're going to be pushed to our max time in that month.
Yeah.
But maybe March tapers off and we know we can take a project that month. So it's good for planning for new clients too.
Yeah.
Okay, so audit your project. So we're just auditing the hell out of everything.
I know, everything's just prepared, but we do take those 2 weeks off, and I want the team to feel like they can relax, they don't have to
True.
work at anything, so that but, I mean, obviously, when we come back in January, it's just, to the grindstone, like, getting things ready, but those
Like
2 weeks,
people
like, just
say, it's a January problem.
yeah,
Whatever.
I'm
We'll
kicking that
deal with
can
it
down
then.
the road. But I think if we prepare really, really well in December, we come back to something really clean and organized.
Yes. I mean, that's the goal, right? Like, I don't wanna show up in January and be like, "Oh my god, I should have done that," or "I
Yeah.
should have done this," or "I forgot about that." Like, that's the worst.
Yeah, it's a terrible feeling. I'm just like,
We're not
"Gosh."
doing that. None of us are doing that. If you're listening to this, you're not doing that. We're auditing everything.
Mhm.
So it's also a good time. This is not an audit thing. This is a looking forward thing. So refreshing your processes and your
Mhm.
toolbox. So I think it's a good time too. Like I said, I take those 2 weeks off and I get into my processes and I'm like, ooh, what can I improve? And then I come back in January and the team's like, oh my God, what did you do with our processes? Don't do that necessarily. However, you probably have some things that are getting clunky or that need a look at. And like, I like to eliminate things first.
Yeah,
Like, what are we doing that we can get rid of?
sure.
What do I hate to do? What can I streamline and do less of? Like, that is exciting for me. What can I get rid of? So I think maybe even like we don't want to recalibrate every single thing we do, but if we can pick 2 or 3 systems that maybe drove us crazy this whole year or just like completely failed, like maybe we just kept making mistakes on projects. There's a process issue there probably.
Sure, yeah.
Or meetings, we're over meetings and it's just like soul sucking. What can I get rid of? Um or could be your billing structure. You need to rework it because you are leaving money on the table. Your clients are questioning you, or you're just like losing money because you're a fixed sum and you should be hourly. So choose 2 or 3 systems that just failed you this year and
Yeah,
rethink how can I do these differently?
yeah. I mean, this year for us, we really I mean, we've been very process oriented the past few years, so I don't know if there's anything that we really need to look through
I
except
hope
for
not.
margins and markups. So we've been preparing ourselves to take a look at that, pulling reports, taking a look at the at projects that we've completed recently. Where do we maybe need to renegotiate? Where are some things, what are some vendors that we need to use more of because maybe our terms are a bit better? Maybe those vendors were better to work with also.
Yes.
So taking a
Yeah.
look, but then we're preparing to take care of that for Q1.
Yeah, I guess that's a good one. Margins and markups is always a good one. I don't know what else though. I'm like, what else would I fix this year?
That's really it. I mean, clean up because I mean, I think our processes are really tight and strong, but we have stuff saved everywhere.
That's so true. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's true. Because we use SharePoint as our server. We have a ton of
Mhm.
stuff there. We also use Dropbox for
Yeah.
marketing for good reason, but there's a ton of stuff there and
It's not.
old stuff that can we just get rid of. That's a problem too, is I purge. I get rid of stuff and then it's never to be seen again, and then someone wants it. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
shit. I do it to my kids. I'm like, you don't need that anymore. We're donating it. They're like, where's that thing that I liked that time?
Yeah.
So don't be me.
I just create a folder, Z_dead. This is my dead folder, and everything that doesn't work goes
How
in
long
there.
do you hold it there though? Don't you just want to get rid of it?
No, indefinitely, because I don't really like, and that
Yeah.
is actually an old practice from working at the marketing agency. Because you will have a client, most I guarantee it, you will have a client come back after 8 years and say, "Hey, do you have the original InDesign file for that?" And I'm just like, "You know what? I sure do. It's in the Z-dead folder that I never look at, but at least it's
A
there."
Z dead folder makes my skin crawl. Just knowing there are things in there from like 10 years ago, I couldn't do it.
Oh, see, but that's where the hoarder in me comes out, and I just
Ugh,
like,
no.
uh,
Like, I swear to God, my inbox is only it goes back like 1 year. If you need an email before that, you're not gonna get it.
no, I have them all.
Oh, wow. All right, well, you guys know who to go to. Melissa, not me. I throw everything away. Let's see what else. Okay, another one that is not an audit. Um, follow up with your clients, touch base. And you
Yeah.
probably already are with client gifting, unless you're one of those that doesn't believe in holiday gifting because you like to do it at an off time of the year,
Right.
which we do too. I get that. But now is a really good time to reach out to your clients, even if it's an email or a text or a phone call or whatever, however you communicate outside of that holiday gift. Reach out. How are you? How's it going? I know a lot of you see your clients like on a weekly basis, but some of us don't. Like some are in, holding pattern because maybe we're in a just the ordering phase or something of a
Yeah.
project that's going to take 5 months. Just reach out. How's it going? I think it's a good time of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're in the throes of well, actually, it's all set now, but, client gifts, they should all be
They're
delivered this
going
week.
out.
Yep.
I also like to mark on my calendar a time that I'm going to send a handwritten letter to all of my clients in probably like March, April, that time of
Mhm.
the year, just because holidays are over, projects are going like full force, and hopefully they're going really well, but maybe they're not.
Yeah.
So it's a good time to reach out to just like I do a handwritten postcard, not a letter. A letter sounds insane. I'm not writing a letter. I'm writing a postcard, a few sentences, and I send that out March or April. And I send it to past clients too. Like
Mhm.
some that I don't know if I'd go back 10 years like Melissa, but probably like 5 years. My favorite clients of all time are going to get a handwritten letter. Note, postcard, not letter.
And you get a good response from that usually.
I do. Yeah. Just because no one sends anything in the mail, because let's be
Yeah.
real, USPS sucks. But I do like to send something handwritten. And I like stationery. I'm old school. I like stationery and I like a good pen.
It's more
Yeah.
for you than it is for them.
It is for me. But I say that, but then I write like 50 of them and I'm like cursing myself for doing it.
Ugh, I know we have all those, holiday cards at the office too that I need to sign.
Same, same, same.
I was at the office yesterday too and didn't do it.
You've got plenty of time. All right, what's next? Okay, I did 2 that weren't audits.
Oh, okay. Well, let me try one that's not an audit. I think that in December, I mean, you probably would have started it before now, but building your Q1 marketing plan. Again, we take off those last 2 weeks of the year, and I do not want to come back, January 4th or 5th or whenever we're coming back, posting reactively, without
Oh,
any sort of social media plan. I want to start out with intentional, strategic visibility. By October, we already have an idea of what we want to do marketing wise. Like, what are going to be our big goals? We're doing a show house next year. So we want to start talking about that. We have some amazing projects that are going to be completed or near completion. So we want to start teasing those out. And so we start outlining content themes, blogs, what campaigns, email topics, all of those kinds of things back in October because we're taking a look also at our website, our portfolio. We're looking at our Google My Business profile. We're looking at team bio, services page, all of that kind of stuff to see if it needs a refresh, to see if it still aligns with, what we are as a firm today and where we want to be in the next year, which it sounds like a lot. And I think it is if it's your first time ever doing it. But we have a checklist at this point. So we just know, okay, look at that, look at that, look at that.
do
This
we
looks great.
actually have a physical checklist?
Hmm. It's in
We should
marketing
share that.
Mhm.
Send us a note and we'll send you our checklist. If you are listening this far into it, you're getting a checklist, sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, send it to us because we'll send us a note, DM
Yeah.
us, whatever.
So by the end of the
Um,
year, before we go out for that break, I know for the next 3 months what blogs we want to publish on the website. If we do need to make some updates to the website, like I have that in
I feel like
mind.
we do, honestly.
And then, the portfolio, does that need to be refreshed on the website? Like, are there some projects there that just need to be switched out? Or, do the images just need to be refreshed? Like those featured images that you see on the portfolio, do those need to be changed? Sometimes seasonality, I think, matters.
Yeah,
Nobody wants to take a look at, your homepage and it's this bright sunny pool and it's mid-January, like so those kinds of things that you don't really think about, especially here in Houston, because 9 months out of
it's
the year
always summer.
it's but looking at that now is a good idea. Small things, but they make a big difference.
I feel like this is a good list. And don't freak out. If this is stressing you out, let's choose one thing. What is the one thing that someone who is a firm owner, what should she be doing right now for next year? One thing,
For marketing, ugh,
anything. It doesn't matter. Out of all of this list, what is the one thing, if they can just do one thing?
I mean, for me, auditing your projects, understanding when they're going to get done, when they're going to get completed, just giving yourself some kind of schedule that you can expect for 2026, because I use that for budgeting. I use that for marketing. I use that for planning my team. Like that whole project pipeline really dictates so many other things in the business.
Okay. So deep dive into your current projects and how they're going to play out next year.
Yep.
Good. Okay. That's a good one. Okay. My one thing would be pipeline, reach out to your clients, current and past, because that's who's going to bolster your business next year.
Yeah.
Reach out to them. A direct touch point. If you can get FaceTime and get in front of them, even better. But like minimal effort, send them a small gift or just a handwritten card. That's it. Do that at the end of the year. Okay. I feel like this is a good list.
And it seems like a lot because it is, but
It does. But I feel like, okay, that's the December playbook. You're going to clean up. If you could do everything, clean up your pipeline. You're going to face your financials and your budgeting. You're going to assess your team, see what they need. If you have a team, assess yourself. What do you need if you don't have a team? You're going to tighten up your operations, and you're going to map your marketing and visibility, at least into Q1 for next year. So you're coming back like a business owner who means it. Like you're in it. Yeah. So I feel like if we can do these things, we're going to walk into next year. We're going to be calm. We're going to be confident. We're going to be intentional. And I think that's going to give us an edge over those firm owners who don't plan this. Not that we're competitive. We are. I feel like just give yourself an edge for 2026 and you're going to feel so good coming into the new year. And I think, yeah, that's it. That's it for today.
yeah, plan ahead. That's
All right.
it feels so counterintuitive because everything's winding down. Like just the natural course of the year. It feels like it's ending. You get really excited about the holidays.
No,
So it's
man, I'm already in January. My mind's in January.
no, I try to be really present, which is
Good for
hard because
you.
you're just like, I got to plan for the next 3 to 6 months.
Oh, I'm going to love it. I'm going to enjoy every second of December. But my brain, business wise, my brain's in next year already.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can relate, you are one of them.
I have to like really force it. 'Cause, oh, can't wait to make cookies later. I'm gonna start a new book later. Like,
Oh, see, I'm going to do all those and the business stuff. Well, if you enjoyed this podcast and it helped you plan for next year, please follow us and please like it. The more you give us 5 stars or rate us, the more that other people just like you are going to be able to find us and plan for their business next year. And what else? Just we've got a couple of good podcasts coming up for the end of the year. We've got some great guests. So keep following. And yeah, we're going to all have a really good start to the year because we are going to kick some ass at the end of this one.
yep. Well,
That's it. All right. Thanks, y'all.
bye everybody.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to check out our next podcast coming live next week on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. In the meantime, you can find us and more wonderful stories like these on designdash.com. And make sure to follow us at Design Dasher on Instagram and TikTok. Till next time.